So now you have a school, and you guys compete, right?
Yes. Yeah, we just, since opening the school, we started competing. I've been teaching at Carnegie Mellon and Pitt for a while, and
Yeah, I remember that.
the CMU group, we'd gone to tournaments in the past, and thankfully, first places, like literally all across the board. Then there was a big gap of like 6 years where we didn't do anything.
Oh, really?
Just different group of people, the generations change, and there was something rock solid about the guys that saw me when I was teaching at the Oakland School in Fort Observer. They were like, "Hey, you're real." I'm trying, but yes. I'm like, yeah, I'm not here pissing around.
Yeah.
So that group, I made them suffer. I really did. Because my teacher had just recently passed away about a year before.
Yeah,
So
I remember that.
I wasn't about to water down what he had passed on to us.
Because I came in '98, I remember. Yeah. So that was around that time.
Right there, that's right. I saw him, everyone thinks the teacher's the best. Okay?
Yeah,
I saw him as a student. And I saw him as an assistant instructor.
Okay.
And I saw him as a teacher myself in a location, checking him out. My experience with him, watching him. Then, long after his passing, and I mean long, it's been a decade, and I think I've traveled tremendous distances in my own personal growth. Tremendous. Even with my damn leg. And I'm still just now realizing like what he had to have inside of him to be the man he was. See, you can always judge a man by their actions, their deeds. You can say anything, you can have any kind of accreditations you want. You can say your teacher's this person, or you can have pictures of yourself with Wolf McQuaid, all that kind of BS.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, of course, Chuck Norris. Because everyone wants a picture of Chuck Norris. But the way you actually do things, the way you're able to express yourself, especially when it comes to saying things to someone else, and they suddenly jump ahead by like a year or two to the next plateau. That's how you know what a person's really made of. And I could have been in any damn school anywhere. I could have met anyone else. I did meet a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Before and after him. And I'm so lucky. I've had one teacher my entire life. No, it's Anton Adab. That's it. So we say that for the record, one teacher. Anton Adab.
One teacher.
And I'm lucky. Blessed is not the word for it, man.
So, you guys, you compete usually with sparring as well.
Forums, sparring, yeah. And look, this last...
And do you think that's important? Like, when you go to the competitions, you should spar?
I'm tired of seeing people come out there with, like, the $3,000 uniforms, and they're really pretty, and they're like this. Punch, claw, palm, block. What is that?
Yeah.
A butterfly has more effectiveness than that. And then, of course, when I say, okay, we're about to start sparring in 30 minutes.
So then how do you use, like, these different fancy moves? I mean...
You can't use them if you can't use them. That's the whole point.
But they were created for a reason.
Of course. And see, this is why, everyone can explain their perspective. Everyone can say what they want to about how they want to teach or how they were taught.
Yeah.
It comes down to what, in terms of this thing, this martial art, this fighting thing,
there
are two parts. Okay? Martial art. Whether it's woo, shoo, boo, do, does not matter. Martial happens to be first for some reason, okay? Now there is a half that is art. That's aesthetic, that's beauty, that's development within, as well as the way it's expressed without. But martially, there is one undeniable fact, one piece of criteria that across the board can be used no matter what the style, no matter what the era, no matter what the situation, even if using foam weapons, does not matter, okay? And that piece of criteria is, does it affect the opponent?
Right.
Period.
You're
such a bitch. That was not an effective punch, man. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. It just wasn't.
Right.
It didn't affect you,
Well, it's interesting because I'm thinking about the MMA guys. And I was talking with a martial artist who was saying that they feel the point sparring and things like that is soft. And
it is.
It is.
But it's not ineffective. And let me tell you, man.
Okay.
Let's cut straight to the heart of all of this. First off, sport is sport. Their sport is more brutal because, and this is definitely going to rub people the wrong way, you look at the spectrum, it's really like middle America, like they're not getting people from MIT in there, they're not getting people from CMU in there. It's people who are like, this is their best shot at a chance for a future. That's number one. Look at the training times of these people. 8 months Brazilian BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, 2 months boxing, 1 month or a week, one free karate lesson, something like that.
Yeah.
There are tons of martial artists out there who are trained. I'm sure wouldn't mind at least doing the tryouts, I mean, I'm not a hired gun, so it's not going to happen with me. Okay, but who are they selecting in every one of these situations? You know, some redneck that looks like a brawler. You know. And when I say that, I don't mean to have any racial connotation with it.
Yeah.
Look at Kimbo Slice.
What about Kimbo?
He's when I threw that term out there, I was trying to reference the average, not Ivy League, pushed through every school by their parents and relatives who have tons of money kind of person, you know?
Right.
Like when I say this is like their best shot, it really is like their best shot, you know?
Yeah, to make something of themselves.
To hurt someone is a small price to pay if that's what you've got going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many plastic surgeons are in the MMA, okay? How many dentists are in the MMA? And you should have some dentists in the MMA, you know?
Right.
So that's the first thing, okay? We're looking at that slice of Americana. Now, again, this is the end of it. Cut right to it.
Yeah.
There's only one thing you're not really allowed to do in the MMA. Fish hooking, eye gouging, that's all. That should all be natural. I can elbow you in the face as hard as I can. I can spinning hook kick you in the skull as hard as I can. I can flying knee you in the skull as hard as I can. I'm not allowed to hit you in the back of the head. Now, the first thing people say is, oh, you can kill. Yeah, you can kill a lot of other ways, too. I think any of these knees to your head could do it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And again, this sounds like just a big old whitewash, but every takedown.
I'll take you to the back of the head.
Dude, it's not even a question. I could just drop a 40 on your head. You know, I mean, it's not even a question.
Right.
If you eliminate takedowns, all of a sudden, the MMA will look completely different. If you eliminate those kind of takedowns. Now, we want them in there. You know, now in Chinese Chinese wrestling, my approach is not to bend over like that. I keep a kind of erect body. You know, the little polishes of like a Bagua and the way we practice our Tai Chi in the Shaolin really allow you to have an erect body and go low. You know, if I slide the chair from underneath me, my shoulder will be about this height in a 40-60 posture. And as you're sitting there right now, this height, I can do this right now.
Yeah.
So that I'm still erect and I'm able to work you instead of just getting pounded in the back of the head. So whenever anyone wants to talk about how real the MMA is, they can say that there's a lot more force being used. That is true. Just like in boxing.
Right.
You know?
Same.
Now, to say that boxing isn't real because you only have 4 strokes, jab, hook, uppercut, cross, and you don't really have defensive tactics, you just have like cover, hopefully, bob, weave.
Right.
You know, hey man, you get hit and tell me if I felt real or not. Okay? Secondly, you try to tag one of these guys and watch what happens. It's a sport.
It's a sport.
That's what I opened up with. It's sports. There's specific limitations, connotations to what the sport entails. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just bear in mind that we start talking about these, like, oh, well, this is the best, and this is, that's like saying like Wing Chun is better than Chuli Foot, or, you know, Northern Shaolin is better than Southern. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
There are individuals at play, period.
Now, we were talking about weapons, and you were saying that sometimes weapons, they're an extension of you, but they're not always considered to be an extension. So, what's that mean?
Okay. Again, my hand doesn't cut.
Right.
You know, I can't like, and my damn arm is not a Kwon length.
Yeah.
My arm doesn't wrap around my neck like a chin. It can't fly 30 feet like a rope dart. And it feels pain when I hit something with it. I mean, yes, it is a truly beautiful manifestation. But it's still just a hand, you know, even though it's encased in God, Chi, and all that. It's, you know, I like the BS. But the extension part of it is that my experience with the weapon, my understanding of this tool's shape, its structural strengths, weaknesses, the design capabilities, allow me to take that knowledge and express it through this implement. Okay, kind of like the way you see a violin or a French horn. You know, my voice, my rubbing the hands like a cricket, none of that will reproduce the vibrations of a chord in a violin, or the reed in a French horn, or something like that. You know, in a flute and an oboe. But my understanding of how it works and how I work, and the union between us, can create a new expression that comes out. So whether, again, it is, you know, a contrabassoon or flying meteor hammer or deer horn knives, you know, it's going to be that. It's not me, but together we create something new, and it's a new means of expression in the world around us.
Becoming one with the weapon.
And together we're something different. That's symbiosis.
Right.
allows us to like be a new generation, if you will.
Wow, that's awesome.